Hey everyone, Roll with West Day 2. Hope everybody's doing great. Coming at you guys talking about healthy mindset. How to keep your mind in a healthy place is what you want to do. How to not give up your happiness. How to not give up your peace. We talk about this, but I'm coming at maybe a slightly different angle. Some of this may be a recap. Some of it just may be plain old encouragement. Or maybe some further instructions and tools on how to do that on a practical part. So today I was going about it. I had my route a little planned and it got changed around a little bit. One of the things I see by keeping a healthy mindset is taking stock about what's in your mind. Take stock of what you're thinking about and being honest about it. That part about being honest is really what I want to emphasize. Where do you get this from? I go back to Psalms 139. David was talking here. The first one was talking about, man, God, you know me inside and out. And then he goes through this whole spill, which is really what appears to be an emotional roller coaster because he's going through a tough season in life. Praise God, and then, oh, I'm tired of these people. Praise God, and oh, I'm tired of these people. You know, none of us can relate to that, right? But then they get to the end, the last two verses said, test me, O God, which meant examine me like a medical doctor does. Look what's inside my heart or my mind is what that is, and point out anything that is offensive to you. That is such an honest moment to get before God. Now, also in the same passage right there, he's talking about, well, God, you already know me inside and out. You know my thoughts ahead of time. So what is he doing? Is he getting honest with God? Yes, but not because for God's need, but for his need. And he's really ultimately getting honest with himself. And that's what brings me to when we get honest with ourselves about how we're feeling, about what we're thinking, about what's going on internally in our thoughts, it gets so much easier to process. As Christians, many times we're taught to deny how we feel and just use our faith and just forget about what we're thinking. We're going to tackle these thoughts. We're going to just be like a hammer. And many a times, instead of being like a hammer, we have to be like a strategic surgeon knife. And ultimately, there's a lot of things that come. Not ultimately isn't the word I'm looking for. There's a lot of things that come from that. There's the honesty, which equals vulnerability. Everything I'm talking about here is relationship-wise. And it's coming to the end of yourself and realizing, God, you are the only one who can take care of me. That, God, you are the only one that can really point this out. Because he said, God, you pointed out to me. How many times do we get honest before God saying, and what is the starting place? You may not know exactly what it is, but God does. Because God knows us inside and out. It's getting honest before God saying, something's wrong. The way I'm feeling and the way I'm thinking is not something positive. It is negative. And I want to deal with this, God. So you bring it before him and you allow him to be like, there it is. Because it's not the many things. People think the way offense and things that rob your mind is multiple things. Multiple things start stacking on the one thing. There's one thing that normally snags us. There's one thing that normally hurts us. There's one thing, and it's not getting into discussion. Sometimes it can be little, sometimes it can be bigger, sometimes it can be more obvious because it's so devastating, but it's normally one little thing is what it is. And the reason I point out one and even use that word little is not to minimize it, but to get you to look sometimes where we think it's all these other things. Well, this change or this person, this, that. And it's really the overflow of the one thing that we're upset about. And now we're offended about everything. And I think that's the strategy of the enemy, where it wants to stack on our mind, boom, 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 to the point it covers up what's really going on. And if we'll deal with that one thing and allow God to deal with it, it'll unravel all the other things. Where you're just like, all that don't bother me. And let me give you a point of direction. Normally, it's what's in proximity closest to you. What I mean by that, the things and the people that matter to you the most and are most precious to you are normally the number one things that get you. You have your own triggers. I have my own emotional triggers that are just like, man, this gets me more than anything. And when that's out of whack, everything in my life is out of whack. Be married or have kids or have a major thing with a job that you care passionately about or something that you are so passionate about. One thing goes wrong, it just kind of sets the whole day and the whole tone and the whole mood off. So what do you do in that moment? You say, first of all, I have control of this. Second of all, you get honest that it is bothering you. And then you bring it to God and you say, God, I need you to deal with this. And I need us to work this together. And in that process and out of that relationship, I'm not going to be able to tell you exactly what that is and how all that works every step of the way. That's the relationship part of it. God's going to walk you out of it. And God's going to mentally unpack it for you And I don't mean like magically. I mean, you're going to have to walk it through together, and you're going to identify the things, and you're going to walk free of it. And what will happen is you'll regain control of your emotions, your thoughts, and everything by dealing with the issue. But ultimately, what am I saying at the end here? You cannot ignore it. You cannot walk in denial and just not deal with the issues. You have to get vulnerable and intimate for God. Sometimes it takes people, a lot of times it'll take people helping you through it too, but ultimately it comes back to that relationship with God. And us being honest instead of, oh my God, we're pushing here, we're denial here, we're going to just bury through, we're going to be faith. And allowing God, I titled a series of messages, Heart Sessions, a long time ago, which comes out of this. And allow God to heal us, to mend us, to walk us through the process of forgiveness, and to cause us to overcome these things. That way we can stay in a healthy headspace. All right, guys, we'll keep going through this, but hope you got something out of that. Go back, rewind if you need to pick up the little tools I feel like that came out of this. And I will catch you tomorrow. Have a great day.